What's up, guys? Your boy Ed from Savij, you already know. For today's video, I know I haven't done a lot of deck profiles as of lately here on the channel, deck profiles of mine. I've been uploading a lot of matches, but for a lot of those matches, it's because I've been trying to prep myself, learn a new deck, and kind of really try to master it as much as possible. I've topped with the Kashtira, of course, already a couple times, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better with it and definitely have learned the ins and outs of the deck. I've learned how to basically play against the meta and how to beat certain decks. I was definitely playing Sprite Brave right before this, and then I started hopping on Kashtira, and then as soon as I do, everybody hops back onto Sprite Brave, and it's like the craziest thing ever. So now there's like a lot of Sprite Braves out there in my locals. Shout out to Sack for teaching me a combo, which was the 5-zone lock combo, because that really helped me out a lot. But a Rice Hard Pass, thanks to your boy Sack, and of course to Mess, that I've learned from. It's definitely just a really good counter to a lot of people. I hate that one guy who opened up a Kaiju against me in game 1. That really triggered me, but it's okay, because I mean, like, if you're really expecting to go second a hard match versus Kashtira, then you're definitely gonna have the upper hand with the one Kaiju. Now that people aren't really playing lava golems or honestly sphere modes, so I feel like the meta has changed a lot and it's definitely shifted. I think that it's basically very crazy from like how I went from playing when I was playing Sprite Brave and everybody was playing Kash to like what now people are hopping off of Kash and now are playing Sprite Brave again. It's very different. There's a lot of things that you really got to mold yourself to learning how to play, and definitely also learning how to play without like exceeding, because like, yeah, some people will like debury you, but if you don't play into exceeds, you can kind of mostly just go for an LTK board, which is pretty good. The deck is really gas. I like it a lot. I do play the deck very differently from a lot of people. Well, not super differently because it's still Kash, but I still like to more or less play it a little bit differently, and I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to also show you guys kind of what like an end board for me mostly looks like if it's not like a Rice Hard Pass, right? Deck is gas. I have a lot of really good ideas for the future and for this deck, so hopefully you guys enjoy that, and let me know what you guys think down below. Let's go ahead and get into it. Sorry about that. All right, guys, so starting off, of course, I think that has to be said that there's like certain monsters that have to be played at a certain ratio, of course, but everybody can definitely agree that Fenrir and Unicorn are all monsters that are hard 3-ofs and should not be changed in the number ratio at all. I think that, so the thing is that I want to go in depth as much as possible to really help people, or really get people to understand that this deck is actually really good, and a lot of people have like hopped off of it, but it's okay, because I ended up picking up my deck for like, honestly, shout out to my buddies, because like they've helped me pick up this deck, but I think I probably spent about like $80, and it wasn't even like during the time when like these are like now crashing in price, and these, like, I actually picked them up whenever these was still like $80 to $100, and these were still like $60 to $70, and I still only spent like $70 to $80 at total. Deck is gas. I think the deck is really good. Searches you a monster, searches you a spell. The one thing that I learned after like 1 week of playing is that the field spell is not a Kash spell, so you cannot add the field spell off of this. That was really hard for me to that was like a really hard truth that I had to like come with, and it was just really hard to understand at the very beginning, but it's okay. I like 2 Rice Heart. I was only playing 1 at the very beginning when I first started playing, because I only owned 1, but now I think that most of the time, because of the combo that you play and then the follow-up that you need to have, this has to be at 2. I wouldn't want to see it at 3, because I just think that it's not super great opening it sometimes, but if you don't open up full combo, like just like a Unicorn, then this is definitely good. Continuing on, the one card that I'd been telling people to play at 2, and a lot of people did not listen to me, and by that I do mean my buddy Castro, is 2 Scareclaws. It comes up. It definitely comes up. Banishing Theosis and then Theosis adding something back to your hand is actually really gas. I actually also open this up a lot, which isn't great, but honestly, just this sometimes, and then like leaving it on defense. 2600 is kind of a hard booty to get over. I've had a lot of opponents that just like I guess just break or something. And just this and me breaking with just this and me pass, it's pretty good. One ogre, not a really big fan of ogre. I also decided to cut the tier limit, Kashtira tier limit, because it's booty. Like they're all good. Adds monster, adds spell, adds trap, banishes, hand or grave, and then this banishes from deck. So like it's really good. You can banish something from your hand or grave, and then you can special this later on, and then banish Theosis, and then add whatever back it is that you banished if you really need it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really good. But I just felt like tier limits played like no actual real role in this deck, at least the way that I wanted to play it, because like I feel like there's people out there that just play this deck so differently, which is cool, because like this is a deck that can be that can definitely become an engine, and you can play it in whatever you want. Now for the last couple of monsters that I played, I only played 3 Ash and 1 Nib. I don't play Nib to nib people because like I don't care about nibbing anybody. I feel like this deck is really good at breaking boards, and going second is priceless. This is a really good deck to go second with, and I like that. I like being able to have a deck that you can go first with, but if you go second with, it's also equally as good or even better sometimes. Like that's how I felt about dinos, because like with dinos you can go first, set up a board, you have like your Doka, your UTC, and then you have like a link monster or whatever, right? But with this, same thing. You can definitely go first, you can go a Rice Hard pass, or you can go 5 Stone Lock pass, and then you also can go second and just break their stuff. And even with just the 1 Ash and the nibs, it's more than fair. But that is it for all of my monsters. We have 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, 15 monsters, which isn't a lot, but it actually does come up to be able to only play these many. I just feel like we have so many power spells in this deck that it's so good playing all these spells that we play. For the spells, the first thing that I do play and I want to talk about is I only play double pot. Temes has played like triple pot, double desires. Castro, I saw him play like triple pot. I just think that I don't want to open up a hand where I have like double pot, and it's happened to me a lot. So I think that just double pot so I can open one, and if I open one later, or if I happen to see on the top 6 a pot, like that would suck. Like I hate that. I also, the other day I saw somebody who potted and then revealed like imperm, pot, and then double imperm followed up by that, and I'm like, oh my god. And then the last 2 cards, like I can't remember what they were, but I mean, like imagine if you would have like potted and then just saw a pot and 2 imperms, and it's just like, you better freaking cry. Continuing on, of course, you got to play the terraforming, pretty good card. You also have Pressure Planet. Pressure Planet is really good. I always forget about the second effect, which is something that I am constantly trying to remember. Like I'm actually going to be pushing myself to remember that if I Shangri-La era with this on the board, I can just start popping cards. Triple Theosis. I've seen some people play double. Castro was starting to play, I think, like 2 of them, and I didn't think that was good. There's also a lot of ways that Castro and I play very differently, so whatever works for him, but whatever works for me is just so much better. This birth is crazy. I've had matches to where I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I gotta take one of these out, and then like as I'm like thinking about my side, I'm like, no, I cannot. Like this is too good. Like this, if somebody banishes, pops it or whatever, having the other one, crazy. Opening up 2 of them, nasty. Like I had opened up 1 of them, 2 of them against one opponent, and I went activate one, and he goes, okay, negate destroy, and I go activate another one. It's just like, bruh, come on, dude. For the next couple of things, I'm actually going to start off the opposite way, which I had it aligned, and it's triple cross out. I like cross out a lot. I actually played for a week without cross out, and it made me feel like I wasn't playing the deck right the way that I wanted to play it. So I ended up putting it back in, and I cut out some other things. Like Lance is good, but if I'm completely honest, I don't think it's good enough. Same thing with like Lava Golem. I had a build that Castro sent my way where he had like triple Lava Golem, triple Lance in the main deck, and I just hated it. Like triple Eclipse, and it was just like, dude, like, you open up lands, Eclipse so much, Lava Golem so much. Sometimes this isn't even good anymore because, like, you can't normal summon that extra Kash monster, and it's just, like, because of Lava Golem, and it's just kind of like booty. So this is the reason why I only play this. I think Eclipse is really good when it comes up. If you open it, you open it. And if you don't open it, it's like whatever. You can still break their board in many of ways. Call By also being a really good card. I know a lot of people were kind of getting away from Call By because they were like, oh, this is a format where, like, you know, there's Macrocosmos on the board. And, like, yeah, I get it. And then I Macrocosmos too. But this isn't really for the Macrocosmos. If anything, this is more or less for when they get rid of your Macrocosmos, or whenever you're going first and you're trying to Microcosmos and they're like trying to like negate your shit. So this is what that's for. And it actually does come in clutch a lot. But for the next couple of cards, I play a bunch of one-ofs, and shout out to David Cat. No, what is it? Yeah, David Cat 2. I was gonna say Flores, my fault. But David Cat 2, because he gave me the idea of playing a bunch of one-ofs, and I kind of really agreed with it. I kind of was already playing 2 tactics, but I ended up cutting it to 1. Opening this card up is like good, but opening this card up going first is booty. Like, sometimes you have opponents that, I don't know if it just happens to me, but I just have bad opponents, and sometimes, and then they're just like not opening up hand traps, and like, just because they don't open up hand traps doesn't mean that they're bad. But I'm just saying, like, I wanted them to open up hand traps, and I wanted them to like Ash or something, you know, and it's just that they're not doing it, and it's just like, now this card is dead in your hand. Same theory with this. This is the only reason why I've only played 1. But then, like, I also have a couple board breakers, and like, of course, like, Change of Heart isn't a board breaker, but it's a card that can definitely help you get up in the game against your opponent, and definitely OTK. Dark Hole and like Harpy's Feather Duster. Dark Hole won me one of my matches the other day, which is like really funny. Shout out to my boy James, because James is always doing really good at locals, and he was playing like Try Brigade Melfi or something. No, it was a Sprite Melfi, and I ended up tacticking a Dark Hole into my hand, and then I just cleared his board with a Suze on board too, might I add. But that definitely helped me out so much. So it's just like, I didn't really have to like worry too much. Like, I actually sat there and thought like, man, what do I do? What do I add? And I was thinking like, man, if I change a heart, then I won't be able to special summon like this Kashtira monster from my hand. And Dark Hole is definitely just the way to go. And then like, you also have the one-of, which is also terraforming. So you're at this point, you're really playing like, you have 5 one-ofs with 1 terraforming, which makes it 6. But then like you also have like pots that you can set, Theosis you can add or set, right? What else? That's it for these. But it's just like on the other side, you also have like double imperm, you know, like that's what I'm also playing. And then followed by preparations and Big Bang. I like the idea of preparations. I hate the actual usage of preparations. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I can't get my mind across actually playing preparations too much. I have a couple of matches where like I sided out, and Saturday at one of my locals, I ended up getting 2nd place, which I could have gotten 1st place at if it was that I did not side this card out. I should have just kept it in. And I had Ogre, and then I didn't have a way to add that, so I had to add Big Bang. And then, so I added Big Bang, and I'm like, oh, I sided the other one out, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like setting the card, and I'm like, my opponent does something, and I'm like, okay, Ogre. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I can activate preparations, and then like special summon like, you know, Fenrir from my banish pile or something. And then I realized I had Big Bang. And then I was like, oh yeah, I just went through that, which really sucked. The other reason why I really wanted to do this deck profile is because I upgraded some of my cards, and they look really pretty, and I'm very happy about that. But starting off, YuGiOh. This is the other card that I feel like it's kind of like not really useful in my deck, or it's kind of useless. People are not Ibly locking people anymore, which is kind of sad. I was so ready for it. As soon as I jumped on Kash, this was like one of the first cards that I threw into my extra deck, and nobody has Ibly locked me till today. Like, I've literally been playing the deck for like almost 3 weeks to a month now, and nobody has Ibly locked me at all. I hate it here. Goliath. I like Goliath a lot. Donner's great. Goliath. There you go. Moving on. Donner's good. I just got this banish Entis, which is really nice. Shout out to that guy. I've seen him around locals. I've just never seen him at like a lot of locals, but he had a Spanish one and he didn't really want to trade it, but I was like, ah, it's okay. And I had already pulled out my deck and like I had the card, like my actual Entis. He's like, oh, is it for your main deck? And I'm like for your actual deck? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, you can just have it since I'm not playing it. I'm like, oh, I convinced him without even trying. This card, the one card that I'm sad that is also not Euro. I'm gonna try to send a couple of cards with my buddies to the YCS LA. And I'm gonna try to get them to like Euro swap them or whatever. Should be cool. Baron's really cool. I almost never make Baron. The thing is that like I make Baron if I really need to, but like if I'm playing against like a Despia player, keeping Ash in hand is just so much better. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I think like they're gonna activate a monster effect anyway, so if you already have a Kash monster on field, you're just gonna trigger that and banish something face down, which is gonna be better. So you get the banish and you get the Ash, which is pretty good. That's it for these guys. The one card that I kind of want to cut, like I said, is YuGiOh, and I want to play this card. I just picked up this card like literally yesterday. I haven't even played it. I didn't even play it at the tournament yesterday that I topped at, but I want to play this card. This card is good. A lot of people have definitely swapped over to that, and they're kind of taking out Entis in replacement for that. But I just think that like, the more cards that you can have to actually pot, and then keeping cards that you want to keep is going to be better. So like I most of the time kind of do like a thing where like I do these 5, and then like I'll choose out like a random Xyz monster later, and then I keep this one just in case if like I need to do something with it. But I think like these 5 are more than like fair to banish. Like Baron like only really comes up like out of like 10 matches that you to play, maybe like 1, and that's a big maybe. Continuing on, Xyz monsters, you have Zeus. I'm still waiting to pick up my ulti Zeus. You have Diabolos. I don't play 2. There's already too many cards in here that I'm playing 2 of because of other mirror matches, or because I know that these are monsters that I can play 2 of, and like I'll be actually using them. But Diabolos is not one of them. I picked up an OT Flare Metal, and I think it's so pretty. I do think that the Ghost Rare is really nice, but I just really like this one, and it was so cheap. It was like 40 bucks. Double Big Eye, also picked up OTs. I'm so happy about that. But double Big Eyes, I think they're really nice. I think that Big Eye comes in clutch a lot more. I think sometimes I don't even make like Shangri-Era or a Rice Heart in some of my matches, and I think the one monster that I normally go for the most is Big Eye, because like if you take a resource from your opponent that they definitely do need, like on board, it's gonna be so much better. So if you play through like Trap Tricks, and you Big Eye, you take the Reflacia, because it's a big booty anyway. You take the Reflacia or their Sarah sometimes, and you're kind of chilling because like they kind of need some of that resource going. Or I don't know, like I just play really weird. I know the more, even me saying it makes me feel weird, but I don't know, I think about taking their resource and then using their own monster against them. It's not like I can Reflacia, take their monster, and then Reflacia them, but I can definitely Big Eye, take their stuff, and then they just won't have it. And then I just have like monsters that I can link away if I have in like Theosis, like this. Because like if I can Big Eye and take something that they have, I can always go into this. So like Big Eye, take their stuff, link it away, and then pop something else on field. So that's already like me with one Big Eye clearing out a lot more stuff. Yeah, it does get rid of 2 level 7s on my side of the board, but that's like something that you would normally do if you really need to, you know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I open up like, it's funny, dude, because like sometimes like you can just open up like something that you don't really need, like let's just say this and or like this or something, right? And then you just Big Eye, take their stuff, you pop that, and now you don't have any monsters on field, and then you still have like this in case you opened it or something, or like if you have the planet or whatever. Like clearing your own board is actually really good, which is the reason why I main deck the 1 Dark Hole. because if I really need to, I'm good. I played a branded player the other day. He special summoned that raw disciples on me, and then I just dark hold it away, and I was just like, oh, you're good. You're so good. That's it for my main deck, honestly. I really want to show off my side deck really quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. You guys know that I don't really care to show off side deck sometimes. I think that your side deck is always going to be depending on your locals, and of course, depending on what people play there, it's going to be the thing that you're going to play, right? But for my locals, the one thing that helps out a lot is, of course, triple draw. I like breaking boards, so triple kaiju, double dark hole. Like, I pair these up a lot. I already main one, so this is to go second. This is also to go second. This is to go second against certain matches. This is to go second against other matches, and then sometimes you pair them together. Wow. These are my only things that I have to go first: D-barrier and a pointer. And then I also have evenlies to go second, and then sometimes I'll just side one in for the cross out if I'm gonna go first, because I don't want to get even lead against like a Trap Tricks player or something. Shout out to all the bad Trap Tricks players that I've played before. You guys know who you are. Shout out to Jordan, he's definitely one of them. I love that guy. But yeah, this was my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and this deck is gas. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Don't forget to check out Dank Rituals. Their link will be down in the description. Also, you guys should definitely join my Facebook group. I have a lot of really cool updates and a lot of really good information that you guys might want to keep up with about giveaways and whatnot on there. Also, please guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would like for you guys to turn on that bell notification as well. I would like to grow my percentage of subbed and not subbed from 20% higher. I would really appreciate that, and don't forget to like, comment, share. You already know, guys. Appreciate y'all very much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Yeah.